Hey YouTubers, Nightwing19 here with my review for episode 17 of Arrow, Suicidal Tendencies. So I'm going to start with the recap, give you my overall rating, and write down some of my top 5 moments. So starting with the recap, Diggle and Lyla officially remarry, but Amanda Waller interrupts their honeymoon to recruit them for a Suicide Squad mission to rescue Senator Cray from a kidnapping. The kidnapping turns out to be a ruse by Cray to help his bid for president. The team rescues the hostages, however Floyd seemingly sacrifices himself so everyone can get out safely. Meanwhile, the police issue a warrant for the Arrow, and Ray publicly announces his own support for the apprehension of the Arrow. Oliver discovers that Ra's has sent multiple assassins to impersonate him until he agrees to take over as the head of the League. In his new Atom suit, Ray locates the Arrow and through facial scans learns Oliver is the Arrow. After Laurel refuses to accept Ray's evidence against Oliver, he decides to take matters into his own hands. Luring the Arrow to a factory, Ray engages Oliver in a fight, however Oliver disables Ray's suit. After, Oliver helps Ray to convince him that he is being framed. Later, Maceo, dressed as the Arrow, murders the mayor in front of multiple witnesses. In the flashbacks, Floyd Lawton struggles to transition back into society from the military, including his wife and child leaving him. Floyd is propositioned by an organization known as H.I.V.E. to assassinate Diggle's brother, Andrew. So, overall, I am giving this episode a 9.5. This episode was really great when you look at it from the Suicide Squad moments. However, when you go back to the story in Starling City, it wasn't a whole lot interesting. The Suicide Squad moments of this episode really stole the show this week, the Suicide Squad moments and the flashbacks. It was really great seeing Floyd's origin play out on screen. A soldier returning from the battlefield who's struggling with post-traumatic stress. The concept of Deadshot having a wife and kid really humanized the character. I feel like Arrow is at that point in the show where they are humanizing the villains they've already introduced. They're doing that with Merlin, and they did that with Floyd in this episode. It sucks that he had to die though. I was really expecting to see more Deadshot in the future, and since there's a possibility that H.I.V.E. could be the villain of next season, I would have wanted Floyd helping Diggle. I guess what the writers wanted to do is to close off anyone who has ties to H.I.V.E. so that Team Arrow goes into the 4th season blind about H.I.V.E. And speaking about H.I.V.E., we get to see a member of H.I.V.E. She didn't explain much about her organization, she just mentioned that they needed Lawton. I'm expecting to see her again in the upcoming season though. I don't think that she's the leader of H.I.V.E., I think she was just like a representative. I don't think Arrow would have introduced the big bad of season 4 so early in season 3. Besides from the Suicide Squad aspect of this episode, Ray Palmer finds out that Oliver is the Arrow and Maceo kills the mayor. As much as the idea of Ray finding out Oliver's the Arrow was for the narrative, it was more for the Oliver, Felicity, Ray Palmer love triangle. Ray really played his role as a romantic foil for Oliver in this episode. Out of all the things I dislike about this season, which is probably a small list, this love triangle is probably on the top of my list. I just feel like the Felicity ship was all for the fans, like it was fan service. Obviously, these characters have had feelings for each other, but when you look at it from the perspective of the writers, I feel like they were pressured to make Felicity a thing for this season, and the Felicity shippers were really pressuring the writers. Because this ship was mostly driven by the fans and seeing it play out on screen, it just doesn't work out for me. But the love triangle does work in this season of darkness. Oliver can't be with the girl he loves. He nearly died, and now he's going to be the potential leader of a group of assassins, which goes against his moral codes. It's like the writers are hammering Oliver down to the ground with so much shit. Because the mayor was killed in this episode, this means that the Arrow is going to be hunted down by the cops. I'm really looking forward to seeing this happen in next week's episode. One of the things I missed about Arrow is when Oliver was being hunted by Lance all around the city. We haven't really seen this side of Lance in a long time since season 1, so next week's episode is going to bring back a lot of season 1 memories. When we first met Lance, he was a really depressed character who lost a daughter and blamed his other daughter's ex for her death. Then in season 2, he was kind of toned down. Then in one half of season 3, he was really happy and joyful, and then in the next half, he reverts back to his season 1 self, only taken to a higher level. So, now into Easter eggs. Cupid had a thing for Deadshot in this episode. This is like how Harley Quinn in the comics has a thing for Deadshot whenever they're featured in the Suicide Squad. During the Diggle and Lyla's wedding, all I could think about is the Green Arrow Black Canary wedding in the comics. They sort of hinted this to us. I mean, Oliver and Laurel did have a brief moment in this episode during the wedding. I don't expect the show to just abandon Felicity and show Oliver pursuing Laurel now. They've invested so much time in Oliver and Felicity, and I don't think that the show is going to do a 180 and screw the Olicity fans over. So, now to top 5 moments, starting with number 5, Errol vs. Adam. Mark Guggenheim teased that this was supposed to be an epic fight, however, I didn't find it very epic. How easy it was for Oliver to defeat Ray tells you that Ray isn't as smart as he thinks he is, and that Oliver's training surpasses Ray's suit and Barry's super speed. Each hero is strong in their own way. They're capable of defeating certain types of villains with their powers, however when it comes to each other, like fighting against each other, they're not so strong. Number 4, Floyd is hired to kill Andy Diggle. As much as this scene was a H.I.V.E. teaser, it was more of a scene to show the transition from Floyd Lawton to Deadshot. The whole speech that the H.I.V.E. representative gave to Lawton really knocked some sense into him, saying that he can't have loved ones because of the type of person he is. I've said this before, but it'd be crazy if Diggle's brother was killed only so that he can drop off the grid, and this whole time he's been working for H.I.V.E. I feel like there's a small possibility of that happening, like a 10% chance of that happening. Number 3, the Diggle and Lyla wedding. Number 2, the Floyd Lawton flashbacks. And my number 1 moment, Floyd's sacrifice. This moment was like Floyd's redemption. He really stuck his neck out for Diggle and Lyla so they can head back home to their baby girl. It's like Floyd can't go near his family because of the restraining order, however he's willing to save another family before they live similarly to him. And what I mean by that is that they're not able to see the ones that they love. Since Floyd has been given a redemption moment, who knows, maybe Merlin will be given a redemption moment as well. He already had one in this season when he didn't kill Brig for Thea, but I'm expecting a bigger one. It kinda sucks that Merlin will have to die to achieve this personal desire of mine, but it'd be worth it. But who knows, maybe he won't die. So, what do you guys think? Did you like this episode? Leave me your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to this channel for more reviews on Arrow and my other channel for fandom vids. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr for updates on Arrow, The Flash, and more. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.